There, welcome back to another video. Today I'm back working on my 2013 Ford Focus, and today what I'll be doing is replacing the alternator. Anyways, on my way home last week I noticed that my battery light was on. I checked the battery voltage, like across here and here, and with the car off it was 12.9, which was, or 12.9 volts, which is just right. But with it running it was down to 12.5. Anyways, it should be between about 13 and 15, I believe, or certainly higher than 12.9. So I believe that would be the alternator. So anyways, let's see if you can see it in here. The alternator is kind of down below it's kind of down below underneath my tensioner right here. So I think the best way to get to that would be from underneath the car. Or the Haynes manual says to take off the passenger tire and then the little shield inside there. So anyways, what I'm going to do is get this in the garage, get it lifted up, and then see which is the easiest way to get to it. All right, here we are underneath the car. The lower splash shield is removed. On the sake of this car, it was never on. There's the inner splash shield that the Haynes manual says to take off. It doesn't look like it really will save me much here because there's quite a bit of space between it and the splash shield, so I think it's probably just easier to work from it underneath. This looks like it's attached with, I think these are 13mm bolts. Let's see, there's one here, and then one just behind my air conditioning line. And I got another 13mm nut at the top, and a stud I might have to take out. And I think in one of the videos they said to take, oops, trouble light falling down. They said to take the air conditioner line off. So anyways, I think I'm going to just go ahead and try taking it off from the bottom instead of taking the tire and the fender out, because I think that might be just as easy. Anyways, I'm going to disconnect the battery, loosen my belt, and then get started on this. There, the battery comes off with a 10mm ratchet or wrench. I just removed it off the post like that. It's kind of important to do because there's I guess a positive connection on your alternator, and if you bump it anywhere on the car, you'll short stuff out. Anyways, I put a ratchet on my pulley here. You can see that's a 14mm. Let's see, I don't know if I can move it now with one hand and hold the phone at the same time, but anyways, I loosen that up. It just spring-loaded. So I just push that forward, and then you can see down there I slipped the belt off my alternator pulley. It might be easier just to take it off the, I think that's a water pump there. But anyways, I did it like this so I could so I know which way the belt goes back on since it's only off one pulley. My next step is to, let's see if you can see in there. You can see where the socket is. That's 13mm on the top. It's going to be a bit of a challenge trying to figure out what extension I need, because I'm probably going to have to access it through here. So I'm going to take that off, and then once that nut is off, I think there's a 5mm stud that it's mounted on. There, I can turn this about 3 clicks at a time. So it's going pretty slow. What I might do is just take this off and see if I can hold the phone somewhere good. I'll see if I can just get my my 5mm, I think it's a 5mm here. Let's see if I can just get that on the stud like that, and then maybe I'll just turn the stud out and just leave the nut on just to save a step. There, this is almost out. The smaller my smaller ratchets seem to do the work. I mean, it's not really a really tight stud to get out, so using some of the smaller stuff And even my screwdrivers seem to do the trick on this. Just like that. Let's see if I can get that on here. If you can see anything. There we go. It's a little bit snug, but if I can get that out, then I can start working on the stuff underneath. I think it's just a couple bolts underneath, so it shouldn't be as bad as this. There we go. There. One part out. There, before I go taking these two bolts out, I just took out the it's a 10mm bolt for this. I just removed that just so I can get some more flexibility in this line and get this out of the way a bit. I noticed that it's definitely time to change my my air conditioning belt, because I think I'm only about, there's only half of it remaining there. Maybe I'll do that next weekend. But anyways, I'm going to see if I can get in here with my 13mm socket or wrench and see if I can get these loosened. Then hopefully this thing just drops straight down and I can disconnect the wires for it. You kind of see at the top there. There, I just started them with a wrench, with a longer wrench, and I'll just finish taking them out using this little ratchet, just simply because it's a little easier to get in here to do this. Maybe I'll take a break from this and take a look at what the new starter looks like. Unless you want to watch this all day. Let's see, where's this other one? Here we go. Yeah, just like that. Hopefully once I get this stuff off, then I can take a look and see what I can get access to the electrical. All right, here's what your new alternator should look like. It looks like it's got two connectors, one that should just snap, oops, pardon me, one that should just snap off here at the top, and then the other one where you have your your positive connection, which will have a nut on it. Anyways, I'm going to take a look at the one underneath and just figure out how I can get access to that. Yeah, these things aren't cheap. I might have saved a little bit buying online, but I kind of needed my car back sooner than later. So, all right, there's the connectors on the back of the alternator. Yeah, I've got a 13mm socket on here now. I just have to figure out a way to get a ratchet onto that. There's not a lot of space to work under here. I think if I pry on this with a screwdriver, I should be able to get this thing to come off. Yeah. Oh, I think it's off now. There we go. Almost there. And might want to check the condition of let's see, where is it? I don't know if I can get to it, but condition of this one. There we go. Might want to check the condition of the wires going to this, because I did see in another video where this wire was pretty much all rotted off. So have a look at that once you get this thing out. But anyways, I'm going to see if I can keep prying on here or wiggling it and get this thing disconnected, and then the next step would be to lower it out from underneath my car. There, I've got the little nut connecting the positive wire to the alternator. I got that started, getting that loose. I had to fit my 13mm deep drive socket on it, and I don't know if you can see it in here, but I don't know if I put my phone to fit. But anyways, I got my U-joint extension and another extension on. I was able to loosen it that way. Let's see if we can get in here. There. Okay, now you can kind of see it. There it is. right in there. Anyways, I've got this started, so once I get that nut off, I can get the wire off, and then hopefully I can work this thing out through the bottom. Yeah, I don't know what we did to make the engineers at Ford so mad at us, but here we are. There, now let's see if we can figure out a way to wiggle this thing out of here. I think it needs to, let's see, lift it up again. Maybe they were right. Maybe I do need to take off this splash shield. Okay, I think maybe it should come this way. All right, I might have to think about this a little bit. Put it back into spot. I managed to wiggle the old alternator out. I'm just going to take a look at these, make sure they're the same. Looks like they got the same same connections between both of them, and same bolt or same pickup points. And the pulley looks the same, so I should be safe putting the new one in. There, the old one came out through this hole down here. So I'm going to see if I can just wiggle this new one up into the same spot. I'll get it into the right orientation. These things are kind of heavy, so it's a bit of a pain. I think it just went out something like this. You just squished down that water heater hose, or that, pardon me, the radiator hose. It's kind of in the right spot. Okay, I think it's almost in. There we go. Okay, I think that's right. Okay, it should go on like that. I'm just going to set it down here and see if I can get my wires hooked on first. I'm going to need my arm to twist around differently, I think. There, the bolts are in, the studs on, the nuts on, and I even got the belt on, so I think everything's good to go. The only thing left to do is probably connect the battery and make sure I'm seeing my 12 volts when it starts. Let's see. Yeah, 14.3, that's perfect.